for including us.
Well, one of the things that I think would go well with that dish that Eve was talking about maybe is something called 24. If we had a little glass of 24 to go along with it, you think that'd work, Ira? I think that worked.
Nothing better than 24 wine. No wine is better than 24 wine.
I've had a few opportunities to sample some 24, and I got to tell you, it goes down real smooth.
It's the second best number we're going to say today. The best number is 1-800-559-2657. That's the number to call and make a donation. 1-800-559-2657. And Sam, by the way, we're up to almost $83,000. But keep those phone lines busy because we can keep on going. We're not stopping. We're going to keep going. 1-800-559-2657. But, Sam, you were talking about that number 24.
Yeah, there was a guy that you looked to whenever you needed a play. He made it. Well, whenever we're talking about fundraising for Mott, there's a guy that you look to make a play, and he makes the play. I'm talking about Charles Woodson. Charles, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me on.
Charles, every year, you come on. We've been doing this for a long time, and Charles Woodson is still in the NFL. Now, is it 17 seasons strong for you?
Man, this will be 17 coming up, man. And by the way, man, great plug on the 24 wines, man. That was great.
Come on, man. I got you. I got you. You my guy. I got you. I'm always gonna take care of you.
Man.
You said something a few years back that really stuck with me, and I think it's something that a lot of former athletes can really identify with, and that is, you gain a greater appreciation for what it means, the spirit of service, sometimes long after your days at Michigan, and especially, Charles, and you really made mention and note of this, when you become a parent yourself, it kind of takes it to another level. And I think, was that how the Charles Woodson Clinical Research Fund was born?
Yeah, I think just the way you just stated it is kind of how it happened. I think we've all, as Michigan players, we've been involved with Mott in some way, but, not really truly involved. But I think as time goes on, you find yourself, becoming more involved, and that's kind of the way it happened for me. And then, as you just stated, having kids and seeing how, it could go either way. When a child is born, you never know what's going to happen. And, it just kind of brings everything, to that forefront. And you understand, what it really means to when people say, I just want a healthy child, a boy or girl, it doesn't matter. You just want a healthy child, man. So, all of those things combined together, man, that has gave me the inspiration to be involved.
We're talking to Charles Woodson here on the Mott Takeover on the huge show across Michigan. And it's important for people to really know that it's more than Charles giving his time. He does that. He's giving his money. This is a vested thing for him with Mott Children's Hospital. We're talking about Ira in the seven figures when it comes to Charles Woodson and his support of CS Mott Children's Hospital. So that is a wonderful example to follow. 1-800-559-2657, 800-559-2657, champsformott.org. Charles, you were just in town for the spring game, and I saw you out on the field and saw you a little bit after the fact. One of the things I took note of while you were here to get to some football for a moment, you were spending some time with a guy named Jabrill Peppers, a guy who kind of challenged the crown from afar. He said, I'm going to be better than Charles Woodson. And I remember telling you about that. And you said, Man, I love that. What was it like to finally talk to the kid?
Yeah, it was good, man, to, talk to him. I met his mother. And, you know what, you can see the confidence, man, just, spilling out of this guy's pores, man. So, it was exciting for me to just get a chance to, share a little bit with him and meet with him. And I'm looking for big things out of him. I really am. This is a guy that, like I said, has all the confidence in the world, and we need a guy like that on Michigan's team, man. So I'm looking for him to come in there, man, and just make plays and get it done.
Let's go back to your days. I remember, sitting in an African American studies class and seeing you walk in. It's like, man, that dude is a freshman, so physically precocious. You were ready. But, man, you came in with a lot of expectations. You're one of the top recruits in the country, the best player in Ohio. They're talking about you're the next big thing. that is a great deal of pressure, and that's the kind of pressure that Jabrill Peppers is walking into. Kind of take us back into how you dealt with it at that time, because not only did you have expectations from the outside, you had guys on the team that were looking to, knock you down a peg or two.
Yeah, but the thing is that when you can play, and I was a gifted athlete, so there were some things I just had naturally, but then I also had the mentality that I was going to go out there and be the best. So the expectations that people have for you, if you already feel like you're going to do those things, those expectations and that pressure, it doesn't mean anything, because the expectations you have on yourself far exceed anything else anybody else can put on you. So that's what I would see, Jabrill coming in kind of in that mode, a guy who already sees himself as a guy that's going to be great. So anything that other people think about him, it's below what he feels of himself. So there ain't no pressure. I mean, when you can play and God willing, you don't have any injuries and you can go out there and just get it done.
What was your biggest challenge, Charles, when you stepped on and you stepped into your career at Michigan? You knew you could play, you had the size, you had the mentality. What was the biggest obstacle? What was the most difficult thing to overcome?
I think really the difficult thing was, I was really I don't know how many people know, but I was an offensive player. I mean, that's really what I was in high school. I played defense, but I was offensive. And so when I came to Michigan, I decided to play defense. So the biggest challenge for me was, to take that coaching, from Vance Bedford, from becoming a really truly offensive-minded guy and becoming a cornerback, and that was a big step for me, because I was just an athlete. You could put me on the field anywhere and I could play, but that was the challenge of me coming in, being an offensive-minded guy, and then becoming a corner, and that came with the help of Vance Bedford. He made me into the type of corner that I wanted to be by the time I left there.
All right, well, Charles, I need you to hang with me for it's significant. It's reasonable to close this out with a guy who has given as much as anyone, more even when you talk about an individual, not only of his time but monetarily. Charles Woodson, started his fund with a $2 million gift and is challenging you guys to help keep it going. And Charles, I mean, you can put it better than me when you talk about the significance, the importance of folks giving back to Mott.
Yeah, I mean, for me, man, it's just, having the opportunity to just be around it and be there, it's something that, has touched me, has touched, all of the guys I played with. And, when you have that opportunity to be around someone who is, going through something as a lot of people are going through, then I think you kind of move to get involved and give back and do as much as you can. I mean, every bit counts, every little bit, as much as you can do, it all counts. And to be able to, look at somebody and talk to them and for them to understand that they know that somebody's doing all they can to help them live a better life, man, I think it's all worth it.
And I got to tell you, Charles, as we let you go, it's only since you got in the business that I've become a little bit of a wine connoisseur. So I'm looking for it in different places. I'm wondering, where can I find? How can I get my hands on some 24?
Well, you can always go on our website, 24wines.com. But, of course, the Chop House has always been supportive of us downtown there in Ann Arbor. So there's a few places around town, but like I say, always on the website, 24wines.com if you want 24.
All right. Well, Charles, man, I appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot for coming on, and thanks for all that you do.
Hey, man, appreciate you having me, man.
All right. That was Charles Woodson. That's exactly